In the early 7th century, the city of Mecca was filled with people who worshiped many idols. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, brought a new message. He called the people to believe in one God, Allah, and to stop worshipping idols. His message also told people to be kind to each other, help the poor, and treat everyone with fairness and respect. At first, most people ignored his message, but soon, more and more people started to believe in Islam. This made the leaders of Mecca, the Quraysh tribe, very worried. They thought if people stopped worshipping idols, they would lose their power and control over the city. They were also afraid that the message of equality in Islam would make them lose their special status in society. To stop the spread of Islam, the Quraysh began to hurt and punish the new Muslims. They made their lives very hard. They forced some Muslims to leave their homes. They even put others in prison or tortured them. The Muslims were beaten in public to make them feel scared. But no matter how much they suffered, the Muslims refused to give up their faith. One of the most famous people who was tortured was Bilal ibn Rabah. He was a slave, and his master forced him to lie on the hot sand with a big stone on his chest. Even when he was suffering, Bilal kept saying, Ahad, Ahad, which means one, to show that he believed in only one God. Seeing how much the Muslims were suffering, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told them about a place called Abyssinia. He said that Abyssinia was ruled by a kind and fair king named Najashi. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, if you go to Abyssinia, you will find a king there who does not harm anyone. It is a land of truth. Stay there until Allah makes a way for you. The Muslims listened to the Prophet and decided to leave Mecca. In the year 615 CE, a group of about 11 men and 4 women left their homes. Among them was Uthman ibn Affan and his wife Ruqayyah, who was the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They knew the journey would be hard, but they trusted that Allah would protect them. The journey to Abyssinia was long and difficult. The Muslims crossed the Red Sea to reach a new land. They were leaving everything they knew behind, but their faith in Allah gave them the courage to face all the hardships. When they finally reached Abyssinia, they found peace and safety. The kind King Negus welcomed them with open arms and allowed them to live in his land. Back in Mecca, the Quraysh leaders were angry. When they heard that the Muslims were safe in Abyssinia, they sent men, Amr ibn al-As and Abdullah ibn Abi Rabia, to Abyssinia with gifts for King Najashi. They wanted the king to send the Muslims back to Mecca. They thought they could bribe the king and his people with these gifts. When the envoys arrived, they met with King Najashi and said, O king, some people from our land have come to live here in your land. They have left the religion of their forefathers and do not follow your religion either. We have been sent by the leaders of Mecca to bring them back. They hoped that the king would listen to them and hand over the Muslims without asking questions. But King Negus was a fair man. He said he would not send anyone away without hearing their side of the story. He called the Muslims to his court and asked them to explain why they came to Abyssinia. Jafar ibn Abi Talib, the cousin of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spoke on behalf of the Muslims. Jafar said, O king, we were people who lived in ignorance. We used to worship idols, eat dead animals, and commit many sins. We were not kind to our families or our neighbors. The strong among us would oppress the weak. Then Allah sent us a messenger who was from among us. We knew him to be honest, trustworthy, and good in character. He told us to worship Allah alone and to stop worshiping idols. He taught us to speak the truth, to be kind to our families, and to help the poor. Jafar continued, our people became very angry with us. They punished us and tried to force us to leave our new religion. When they hurt us too much, we came to your land, O king, hoping to find peace and justice under your protection. To show respect for the Christian faith, Jafar then recited verses from the Quran, from Surah Maryam, which talks about the birth of Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, and the respect that Islam has for Mary, his mother. When King Negus heard these words, he was moved to tears. He said, by Allah. What you have said and what Jesus brought are from the same source. The Quraysh envoys were shocked when they saw how the king reacted. They tried one last time to make the king angry by saying that the Muslims do not believe Jesus is the Son of God. King Negus asked Jafar, "What do you say about Jesus?" Jafar answered, "We say that Jesus is the servant of Allah, his messenger, his spirit, and his word that he gave to Mary." King Negus picked up a small stick and said, "The difference between what you say and what we believe is not more than this stick." King Negus then told the Quraysh envoys, "Go back to your land. I will never give these people to you. They are safe with me." He returned the gifts that the envoys had brought and sent them away. The Muslims were very grateful to King Negus for his kindness and fairness. The migration to Abyssinia is a lesson in faith, courage, and the belief that Allah always provides a way out of difficulty for those who are patient and hold on to their faith. The Muslims stayed in Abyssinia for many years. They lived peacefully under the protection of King Negus. The story of the Muslims in Abyssinia teaches us to always trust in Allah's plan, even when things seem difficult.